Okay, here we are. We are live again with Nicole from Urban Scrapbook. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Fine, thank you. How are you today?
I'm doing well, thank you. Yes, I'm excited to be here.
Oh, thank you. We are happy too. Your shop is in Canada.
Yes, it is
Oh,
in Edmonton, Alberta.
nice. Nice. Would you like to talk a little bit about yourself, your shop, and your background, everything that you want to say to us?
Oh, well, we've owned the store for about 4 years, and I've been scrapbooking and involved in paper arts for a long time. 25 years, 20 years. And
Wow.
but Stamperia has become our favorite products and one that I love working with. I've been a bookbinder for 35, 40 years. So paper just lends itself to all sorts of projects. And it's a wonderful line. Thank you.
Oh, no, thank you for this amazing opportunity. We are really happy with these kind of lives where we are presenting to our audience all these shops, all these clients. They are really good. These are very good chance to meet new people from all over the world. Also, we have a lot of people that are coming in this live. There is Cindy Crane. Hello,
Oh,
Cindy, Patricia. Oh, hello everyone.
hello, hello. Good morning.
Good morning for a lot
Yeah.
of you, for a lot of people also. Yes, that's true. So before starting diving into your project, I like always when we start every lives. Don't forget people in the comments to like and share these lives if you want to win a fantastic pizza box. Every Monday we will announce the new winner, and of course don't forget to share your project with us on our Facebook group Stampers Worldwide because we love to see how you are using our new collections and our old collections.
Oh,
Perfect. Before starting, would you like to show us some of your projects?
oh, certainly. Um, I've always loved boxes. Um, so this is an explosion box I did using the vintage Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So this one will open and then it has like an album inside.
Wow,
So you
beautiful.
can put photos on both sides. I mean, the ephemera in this collection is just beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I love this.
Yes, no problem.
I didn't realize I had that hooked up there. Um, what I do with all the scraps, I'll go into this with our project, but with all the scraps, I attach it to a piece of paper so that I have it's like a quilt. So paper quilt. So
Mm-hmm.
each of these little pieces are all the leftovers cut from Stampera projects.
That's
So that you get your
that's
own
really
paper,
nice.
but it's because you can't throw it away.
No, for sure
It needs
not.
to be like right. So that you can just create another page using all your scraps. It's just a great way to do that.
Wow, beautiful.
Let me see.
Yeah, it's so important to reuse the things, to use leftovers. It's a really beautiful idea.
Oh yes, it's and you're just even just the most tiny pieces. So I'll show you when I'm on here because you can cut them down and make them like to 4x6 size and just keep adding them. Yeah.
Oh, great. And today, what are you going to create?
Today we're going to make a tunnel book.
Wow,
And so
fantastic.
I'm using the Vagabond in Japan. Jenna, could you turn that around? So we're going to use the Vagabond in Japan, and we're going to create a tunnel book. Where's my camera? There I am. Okay.
Oh, wow. It's really a beautiful idea. And as you told me, you will post the PDF to help people recreate this project. You can send it also to me, and I will post it also on our Facebook page. So everyone on your social media and on our social media, they will be able to find all the information about the project.
Oh, wonderful. Yep.
I think that in the comments we have a lot of people from Canada, because for example there is a Sherry Anderson who
Oh,
wrote, the projects are even more stunning in person.
thanks, Sherry.
Also
Oh,
Jonathan, hi Nicole from your family in Ontario.
oh, hi there. They were sending me like, good vibes yesterday so that I could get through this.
Oh, that's so nice.
Oh, how sweet. Thank you.
Thank you for this great opportunity, really. Okay, so I think we are ready to start. I will play our intro,
Okay.
and so we will see you right after the video. See you in a while.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, here we are. And
Hi.
okay, let me check if I made the project bigger. Ah, okay, so you have the camera in the frontal position.
Oh, good.
Okay, perfect. We can start.
Okay. So what we're doing is a tunnel book. And I like tunnel books because they're relatively easy to do, but it's also a good way to use the papers that you tend to want to save. So you can call it a stash buster too. So today I'm using two main sheets, the Stamperia 831 and 823. Then I'm using the 6x6 sheet, 832, because it's exactly the right size for our covers. You'll need one piece of ivory, that's the undermat for our cover, and then two pieces of black cardstock that we're going to cut to 6x6. So
Oh,
before I forget, I want to mention that you need to follow the grain when we're doing a project like this. So where there's no tension, this is the direction that your sixes need to be in, because they should all follow the spine. Okay, if that makes sense.
yeah,
So
totally.
to keep that straight, I usually will draw a little arrow, so I know that that's the upside and I can keep everything in the right direction.
Perfect.
Um, the other thing is I used nesting circles to do the tunnel. So you start from a large and go to a small. The thing is if you have square nesting circles, you can do that too and make it just make it different. But in the PDF that I'm going to send in, I'll just have the circles drawn so you can still copy and do the same thing. So when you're at home doing this, you would want to attach your mat, and then you'll have the circle there, and you can just trace around and cut it with your scissors. It works really well.
Okay, that's a great tip.
Thank you. I think so too.
Well,
um,
yes.
um, because it's easy when it's a square, it's still really easy to lose your direction, and then you'll have it all glued and wondered why it went off. So that's why, is because you just lost your direction. I did go ahead and pre-do this because I'm not necessarily that great time-wise, so I was worried about running out of time. So I have taken each of my mats, so you obviously need one for each side. And I have also glued on the hinges. The hinges need to be attached before you mat.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll attach the pages, and then we'll add the circles. The circles I did are a little bit wider because if you're cutting this out by hand, maybe you might make a mess or you go off a little bit, but using the circles just covers up all of those little issues. So I
Nice.
think we'll start. And I also try to keep the book in order because I tend to want to go in reverse all the time. So it's the big circle down to the little circle. Okay.
Okay. So
Oh,
from
I'm
the
sorry.
bigger to the smallest.
Pardon me?
From the bigger whole to the smallest.
Yes, yes. And this
Okay.
one only has 4 pages. And I forgot. I did use a package of the die cuts.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Okay.
yes, the QR die cuts. Yes.
Yes, those were wonderful. I'm happy you guys started carrying those.
Oh, I'm so happy.
Okay, so I'm just going to glue this down now. I need you to remember that you're just gluing. So go easy with the glue. You're not icing a cake. You're not building a house.
Mm-hmm.
So easy on the glue. I'm using art glitter glue right now. It's the last basic bottle that's left because shipping in winter or cold weather is tough for glue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's hard for us. Sometimes we don't get it. So I did ink my edges and I just used black ink. Okay, one done.
In the meantime, in the comments, they are all sending a lot of art, a lot of wow, it's already a beautiful project, all these things.
There we go.
We have a lot of new people in the comments, so I think that they are they are your client. We have
Oh,
Jenna
maybe.
Patterson. Yeah, we have Jenna Patterson who wrote, "This is so exciting."
That's my daughter. Without her help, probably none of this would have actually happened.
Oh, yes, it's your daughter. Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay. because I didn't recognize the surname. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
So she was able to share the live also on your page.
Okay.
And of course, if someone in the comments have has some questions, don't hesitate to ask them, and I will read them to Nicole.
Making this book in a 6x6 is really a good use of the papers because you have very little left over. And what is left over, we're going to make it into paper beads. So we'll have the paper beads, and then we can use anything that's left from that onto making that paper quilt page, paper piecing. Okay, last page.
Yeah, this smaller pad is really a good choice for these kind of projects.
It,
We have Michelle Gelinas. Sorry if I'm not reading it right. She wrote, Nicole is a wonderful teacher. Her designs are stunning.
oh my gosh, thank you. We don't want me to start to cry while we're doing this, you know.
Oh no. Also, Sue Post wrote, Good morning, Nicole. You are making us all proud.
Oh, thank you. Okay, guys.
And then a question, Crafty
Okay.
IM is asking, the tab is half inch or quarter inch?
These tabs here, these are a 1/2 inch. So I'm sorry. So you're going to cut 5 tabs 1 inch, and then you're going to score it at a 1/2.
Okay, thank you.
And you still follow your grain while you're doing that, because then when you score this and fold it, you're not going to get any cracking.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so I made 5 tabs 1 inch by a 1/2, and then we're going to cover the spine, and this piece is this is 1.5 by 6, and we scored it at 5/8 and then 1 inch, and that's going to make our outside spine.
Okay, great. Thank you.
I'll put that in the tutorial that we post.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to start to attach the pages. And I even left myself a little note on one of these spines that I was supposed to attach it before I glued the back mat piece on, and I didn't do it. So we're just going to have our book a little bit different than the original.
Okay.
Oh, well. So because they're all still on the 6s, you're just going to keep stacking them, and just remember to keep watching that your circles are decreasing.
We have Erin Winslow who wrote, This project just gets better and better. Good vibes.
Oh,
Thank you.
thank you. This one will be really special. Oh, well. It's our first Facebook Live, so
Yeah, but it's going really, really good.
okay. So when you guys do this at home, you're not going to make these mistakes because the only way we know how to do things well, really, is through the mistake.
Oh, that's totally true. Rule number one in life.
Yeah. So, yeah, this one's going to have those special borders on it. So what I'm going to do now is, okay, so I've got my spine pieces on the front and the back. So now I'm just going to glue my front cover and back cover on. So I have my arrow here, so I'm making sure that I've got this in the right direction. Add my cover.
We have another question. Crafty is asking, any tips on cutting circle, not so wonky by hand, if not dies on end?
If you have a blade, I don't have my blade here, but you know, like could you get my X-Acto blade? Jen is just running to get my blade.
Oh, perfect.
Got my direction going. Thanks, Jenna. So what I usually do is I will hold a blade. Actually, first off, for the lady that's asking about the circles, if she's concerned about cutting circles, then she might like to make her tunnel book as a square because squares can be easier to cut. But so what you can do is when you're using your blade, if you've got your circle, if you just hold your blade like it's a pencil, and then you can just go around. And then you should be able to cut it like that here.
Okay.
Jenna, this phone went off. Okay. So what I'm going to do next, I believe, so that I don't tip my book upside down, is I may as well do that while we're on the live too, right?
It can happen.
Jeepers, right? Okay, I'm going to add the circles. So of course you have 2 circles each for your 4 pages. So if you're doing, the square or whatever shape, you're going to need your matte circle for the front of your page and the back of your page. And then this is just going to get glued onto there, and that covers any little pieces that you've flubbed.
Okay.
I like the double matte idea because it just it gives it a little bit of a break in the design, but of the papers, but then it also covers any little pieces that are off.
We have another nice comment by Caroline Belair. She wrote, "You are doing amazing, Nicole. You got this. You have always been amazing with advice and information. Best day ever. I came into your store and met you and Jenna."
Oh, okay. Jenna's over there in tears. Thank you, Caroline. Oh, Jenna. Oh, it's just allergies. Okay, so you can feel underneath where your circle is. Like you can just feel that when you're matting your other page. Or I'm sorry, matting your rings. Here's a good example. See how you can see the page. Things just sometimes don't always line up, but
Okay.
the mat will cover that. So everybody's going to line up. Okay, next size circle. Caroline asked if you can use die sets, yes. Then what you're going to do is if you're going for the 6x6 size or whatever your size is, you just need to find the center of your circle and then make your die go through in that center when you're cutting it. I'm going to have to make one in a square now.
We have Loretta Golby who wrote, Nicole and Jenna both are wonderful to work with. Always learn something from them.
Oh, thank you, Loretta.
They are all so nice in the comments. We have also people from Portugal today. Hello, everyone in the
Oh,
comments. Really,
Portugal. Oh my gosh.
really people from all over today.
This will be like the only way I'll be able to travel.
Right now, yes. Also, I see that in the comments they are giving each other suggestions on how to cut circles.
You know, I'm going to have to look and just see. I mean, certainly there's, silhouette machines and that kind of thing, but there must be some sort of a little tool,
Hmm.
like a compass that with a blade on the end of it, that you could cut circles. We'll have to look into that, and then maybe we can sell them in the store.
Patty
Okay.
is asking which papers you are using. She's using Sir Vagabond in Japan.
Yep. And I chose those papers because the pattern on them just really led really nicely with the ephemera bits. Okay, so now I'm not going to put my cover pieces on yet because, because I tend to muck them up. So I'm just going to leave those last pieces until the very end. And I pre-matted them just to save time. So this is your large sheet. And I just cut it right on the very edge of the design. And then the ivory pieces cut at 5 7/8. So you'll end up with a black border around the edge. and that's also going to match your circles, so you've got your borders. I am going to add my back page down now because it just kind of helps me to keep my focus on the book. Or keep it in perspective. So when I'm looking at the tunnel, instead of looking at a black page in the back, I've got my papers going all the way through. Okay.
Wow, it's already beautiful, this project.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So now, because it's a tunnel and this ephemera is so beautiful, what I'm going to do is I like to really think of the book in my mind. I start to sort of place the pieces from the back forward so that I have the perspective when you're going through your tunnel. And I also, like in my original one here, I have the dragon on the very back page. So I'm going to stick him in there now because then I get I can keep track of where I'm going. I don't know what I'm saying for sure, but that's what I mean. I can keep track of where I'm going.
Okay, perfect.
And sadly, I'm going to cut part of his foot off, so I hope nobody has a problem with that.
Oh, it's always painful to cut these beautiful die cut.
I know, I know. What I like to do with them, because I find that they can maybe want to kind of slip away on me a little bit, I'll put a piece of double-sided tape down to just sort of in an obscure place, just to hold them in place while the glue dries so it doesn't slip away on me. So I do want him to hang over a little bit. So I'm just gonna sort of put some glue in a couple places there to keep him down. But I do want him to hang over.
Oh, people in the comments would like you to have more online classes.
Oh, great, guys. Thank you. Okay, maybe we'll figure that one out. I think also with a tunnel book, it's important to, because the circles create the illusion of distance, it's also important when you're putting your ephemera down to try to stack it or give it dimension, because quite naturally I tend to want to go like flat and square. So when you start having pieces that are lifted up or stacked on top of each other, it gives a break in the sort of illusion, and it anchors, but it also looks really pretty. So I'm using some pop dots on here too. Okay, so I'm just attaching, and so the adventure begins. And I've only got 25 minutes left apparently, so I've got to clip along here.
No, but don't worry. We can go over 1 hour. That's not a problem. So there's no need to rush.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Don't worry.
So I'm going to move back to the front of the book, and I'm just going to decorate this the same way that I did in my sample. I'm just using some embroidery twine or I guess it's embroidery cotton.
Mm-hmm.
I like to tie knots in my ends so that they don't look lonely. And
Okay.
I think it gives it a nice effect when you just go that last little tiny bit. Jenna, love, could you get me some Scotch tape? I'm just gonna Scotch tape this down. Thanks, Jenna. Because sometimes, when you're doing those loopy loops, you get a really good loop and then you let go of it and you kind of lost it. So I just put some Scotch tape down there. Nobody will know. Well, I guess everybody knows now, don't they? They're gonna know. They're gonna know.
Yeah, they will.
Trade secret. Yep, we all know now. I'm just going to thread my needle here because the hole in the top of the lantern just sort of screams to me that it needs to have some string going through it.
Oh, Alice Wong wrote, I totally agree. I look forward to seeing more of online classes with Nicole Patterson. I know Sherry Anderson and I learn lots so much.
I think I'm being pressured into these lives.
Yeah, they want you to start
um,
doing online classes.
oh my goodness. Okay, well, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Okay, so another knot so they're not lonely. Not lonely. And I'll just trim away. Okay, this collection of ephemera is really, it's beautiful. I mean, well done.
Hmm. Yeah, one time I was having a live with Anthony's and I told him, you know, your new collection is perfect for tattoos. And
Oh,
he replied, in fact, I will have a dragon tattooed on myself from this collection. I was like, wow.
well, we'll see if I go as far as getting a tattoo. But in the meantime, I'll just love the ephemera. So the little fan that I'm putting down here, I did pop dot it so that it's just standing up a little bit higher than, I'm going to do two, than the little sentiment.
Also, Alice would like to know when she can come to your shop and take this beautiful project.
Okay, Alice, we'll talk about that. Now, because these die cuts don't have a backing on them, like they're just white, right? So what I'm doing, I'm not concerned about it. To me, it's still part of the design, but there's areas where I'm still going to put another piece over that so that it's not such a shocking white to look at. And I'm going to use the tape and the glue thing. Why, Jenna? Because the tape will hold it in place while the glue is drying. The tape isn't enough on its own. it should have both on there. And I'm just gonna stick another little one underneath. Now the fan, I have for the next row of circles, I have a fan. However, fans to me, I always sort of like what do you call that thing? A thing. A dangler. Okay, yeah. Oh. So I'm going to do the pop dots. And then
Oh, AJ Lopresti would like to know, can you let your fans know any websites where to purchase pre-made designs?
pre-made of the total book.
I think so. I'm not sure.
Let your fans know any website.
Yeah, maybe you can give us your website.
Oh, okay. So that's urbanscrapbook.ca.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a tab under there, Designs by Nicole or Urban Designs. So what I did, in case you missed that, I just put the silver ribbon like behind the tabs, and then I tied a knot just to make it look like, you know, that fringy thing that comes off the bottom of a fan. I can make a pretty good mess. So it's, and there's only one project going here. You should see our back room. Okay, so now I'm going to add my lotus flowers, and I'm just going to put them on the right hand side. So you see, I have my dragon glued down. He's on the last circle. So it helps me keep my placement when I'm going forward looking into the book. Okay?
Perfect.
Did that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
Because it's sometimes it's easy to kind of get into this gluing thing, and then you sort of you can lose your perspective. So you want to make sure you've got pieces hanging over the circle. And you can go back on later and add little sequins or just little bits and pieces if you want. So now I'm putting this piece over here just to try to take away a little bit from the fan back.
Oh yes, Jenna wrote us that you are having an online sale right now with a 20% off with all Stamperia products.
Yes, yes, we are.
Yeah,
I
I
think that,
pinned the comment so everyone can read it.
okay, I think that starts now, right, Jenna? I think I find with Stamperia now going forward, you know, when you fall in love with a collection, I seem to need to have like 2 or 3. And this is sort of the hard part of it being a store owner, because I have to share, and I tend to want to keep all of these papers for myself. But
Oh,
I share. I do share.
Also for me, when when I'm creating all the packages that we are sending, like the pizza boxes that every week our fans are winning. Every time that I'm preparing them, I'm always like, no, this one is too beautiful. I would like to keep it for me.
I know, I completely understand that. So I know some of our ladies now, they start to say, so like, are you really sold out, or is there some somewhere else? And I'm like, well, no. Now, our geisha, um, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut her to fit the page, but I'm going to keep the bottom part of her and add it into the front cover because this pattern, the flowers are beautiful. So I'm just going to cut it.
We are also people from Italy. Ciao Filomena, ciao. Ho visto
Oh,
che prima avevi chiesto di questi nuovi orari delle live. No, non sono nuovi orari, ci stiamo solo adeguando ai diversi time zone delle persone. Quindi oggi col Canada era meglio farla alle 5 perché da loro sono tipo le 8, le 9 di mattina. Ciao. They were asking me about these new lives with clients that they have all different times, and I explained her that it is because everyone has his own time zones, and we have to find a solution.
yes. And well, and I mean, too, for us, well, they actually just voted on it a while ago whether we were going to stay with this daylight savings. So, yeah, we just changed our time zone this week.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was tricky.
Yeah.
I was worried about. By the way, dear, I appreciate you staying late on your work day to help us with this.
Oh, it's no problem. Giovanni, my boss, told me that tomorrow I can come later.
Oh, good for him.
No, but I will be here at 8:30, like every morning. So it's no problem for me.
Oh, well, that's wonderful. I appreciate it. Okay, so we basically we put our pieces through. But I got carried away with this one. So just a minute, we're just going to do a little bit of an adjustment because we can do that. Would look better that way. There we go. Okay, we're almost ready to, I'm still not going to do my cover because I will get glue or whatever on that. But we are going to, I'm going to mat the inside cover.
Oh, we have Rachel Harris who wrote, "This is such a beautiful project. Everyone is loving it."
Oh, thank you. Well, it's the papers. I mean, these papers are stunning.
No, it's also your talent because beautiful papers are just papers without talent.
Oh, well, thank you very much. It's certainly my pleasure. I find sometimes it's like the papers speak to you. They just want to tell you what they want to be.
Mhm.
So I have a little bit of gauze here. This is just the stuff that you get when you're going to can or do canning, which I don't do. I don't cook really. Anyway, so somebody else needs to do that. So I'm just going to add the pop dot. Quite often I do use foam tape, but I don't actually know what I did with it. I'm sorry.
Caroline is saying cheesecloth.
Cheesecloth. Yeah, didn't I say that?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay. Alrighty. So it's, like you just put it down. You don't get carried away trying to do something with it. You just put the cheesecloth down and then add this little ephemera bit. Let me see now. Where am I going to go? Maybe what I will do is my front cover.
See, Mary Noel McGill wrote, "The papers and your talent is a match made in heaven."
Oh, thank you. Thank you. So I almost made like my fifth mistake there. I'm pulling off
But
the
it's
cover.
nice. At least we are recognizing them.
Goodness sakes, like, okay. I'm going to put my spine cover on here first before I actually add my front mat. That was a close call. So now what I'm doing here is I'm just going to put the glue onto the front part and attach it and push it tight. So when I'm pushing it tight to the spine. This book only has 4 pages, so you don't really have to worry about a lot of depth in there. But I did give it a 1/4-inch gusset.
Nice. Oh, we have a question. Sherry is asking, is the spine cover cardstock? If so, what weight did you use?
Oh, it is cardstock and it's 80 pound.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so I've got my spine on and now we're going to go back to putting the cover on. All right. Okay. I didn't mention quite often too with these projects, I do try to plan out what ephemera is going to go onto the inside of the book, and then the pieces that I want to keep to go on to the front cover. Instead of kind of being a little willy-nilly about it. So it's the pieces that are sort of more important that you might think can be kept for the front cover, because of course that's the piece that you're going to see first. So I'm back to my gauze. I'm going to put that down. Find my can you thread this one down? Yeah.
Oh, and then we have Elena Cristina who wrote, "What a beautiful project. Thank you for your sharing."
Oh, thank you. It truly is my pleasure. So on my front cover, I'm going to use this "He who is outside his door has the hardest part of his journey behind him." That was just sort of my feeling for today, because if I got like this far, the hardest part is over. So I'm laying down the gauze, and this piece is actually going to get glued straight down onto the cover. And there's enough glue on the edge here that it's going to hold the gauze without getting too carried away. We're going to put the wing behind, because we all need wings to fly. I put thread, Jenna put thread for me through the lantern. This one I'm going to put a few pop dots on there. Normally too, when I'm using pop dots, and I'm sorry, I'm just not doing it today, I will actually add glue onto the pop dot to make sure that it's going to stay. It's very dry here, so sometimes the tape and glue combination is really the best.
Oh.
Yeah, because then it's going to stay and it's going to last. I mean, the projects, when you're making projects, you don't want them to come apart. You don't want to lose it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so the foundation is important. So I quite often use both tape and, if I'm using tape, I'm sorry, I am always going to add glue.
Oh, okay. So it will be more sticky, like
Yeah,
they will stick
yeah,
better.
and it just, if it gets dry, we're not going to, it's not going to come apart. Okay. Okay, so this is it for the second here. I think I'm going to just scoot a little more gauze under there. Oh, I got a bit more on the left and right. Okay.
Wow.
Now, I remember I told you a minute ago, I cut the bottom of her dress, which
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to weave these pieces. So what I'm going to do is cut her feet off.
More feet
There's a lot of feet we're losing today. Anyway, and just kind of, I'm wiggly, wonkily cutting there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to tuck that under there. That glue is still tacky. And so I just tucked her underneath that piece underneath there, because that is such a pretty pattern right there. Right.
Oh, yes.
So we didn't really lose anything except her feet. I mean, we'll have to just save her feet for another time, I guess.
Yeah.
You know.
Maybe for
Um,
for
pardon.
another project, you will have a geisha without her feet, and you can
Yep,
use that.
maybe you could kind of stick her feet under something else, like it's. um. So what I'm going to do, I think now, because we're close to being over, but I want to show everybody how to do the paper beads. Okay, and then I also wanted to just sort of quickly show, because I had talked a minute ago about the cards. See, I haven't even moved and I lost the cards. The little 4x. 6 parts. Oh, here they are. Okay. These are that you can do this while you're working on your project. So this is just a scrap that was left. You can even do, when you cut your barcode off of there, how, and thank goodness you guys do this, you put a picture of what's on the other side. These pieces are perfect to make beads and to go on to your card. So this paper is, we just put Suquang tape down onto it. And to do this while you're working, you don't want to make this hard for yourself.
For sure.
Squares are easier. And you just attach one piece, let it go over, and then you can just trim everything later. So go in different directions and just fill your page up and just keep going and going and going. You just put little narrow strips, and you just, each time you're doing it, you keep your widths different, wider, narrower, square. Circles can go up on top, but just, keep it. And then you have, this is also like a card that you could, if you're giving this away to somebody. So I like doing that because I certainly don't want to waste the paper.
Oh, yeah, that's totally true. They are so beautiful, it's impossible to waste them.
It is. And I mean, even if you end up making a mistake of some sort, you can just always still keep it and figure out something else. So when
Yeah.
we're doing the beads, I'll put a template in the PDF, but the paper beads, these ones we're making, I don't know what that shape is actually called. But the only thing you want to worry about is thinking about your width. That's the only thing that's really important. So my bead is going to be that wide. And because it is, you roll it up, you have depth. That's how you get how thick your bead is going to be. That's just how long you have to make your strip of paper. If you make your paper really long, then you're going to get a nice chunky bead. And you just take a skewer, roll it around on the skewer. It's another reason to keep little bits of paper. You can keep this paper right down to pixie dust. Okay, so there's one bead, and I'm going to make 3. Jenna, I think I lost her. I think I lost her.
Oh, I'm still watching.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, yes, I'm here. I was just reading some comments.
Oh. Sorry.
No. No problem.
No panic there, but I'm good now. So you don't have to, like, you only need to be concerned about the width for the beads. You don't have to worry how well you cut it, or, did you do a good job? I mean, the paper beads are just, they're unique, and they're...
I think that it is the first time that someone is showing in our channel how to create these beads.
Oh, it's always nice to have a dangler, little danglies of some sort. And the beads are, I mean, they're very pretty because the pattern on this paper is it's tight, it's very intense. So it actually makes really good beads.
We have a comment by Anna Heleno. She wrote, "Dear Nicole, it is really a pleasure to hear your precious tips and to see your beautiful project. Thank you so much for coming live today and bringing us new perspectives. Kisses from Lisbon."
Oh my goodness, thank you, dear. Okay, I'm not tearing up.
For now, for now.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I just made this bead rectangle.
Oh, Caroline wrote, "They resemble the lanterns on the paper somewhat."
They resemble the, oh, okay. Okay, gotcha, Carol. Reading skills have left today because the nerves are setting in. And you know, there's just this little tiny sliver. So here we are to the pixie dust.
Okay, we can see it.
All right. So Jenna's directing me on my directions there. Sorry. Did you see it? It's just a tiny, tiny piece.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Vicky Trencho wrote, "Isn't it great? Good to the last drop of paper. Many thanks."
Yes, yeah. And I saw that jewelry, as it were, and you're right. It's just
Mhm.
little bits. There we go. So that one is beyond super tiny.
Mhm.
We could maybe think of this one as a sequin. Okay, so I'm just going to take, this is the part I don't measure, but I'm just going to take a bunch of the red twine, cotton, and I'm going to run it through the center of the book.
I'm really curious now. I would like to see how our friends creating these beads for their projects. I'm sure that I will see them in quite few projects from now.
Oh, I hope so. You know, they're pretty to put on, um, like on your, you know, here, even on the lantern.
Mhm.
Sorry. Okay. Now, when you're doing threading the beads on, because you don't really want them to be slipping.
Oh, in the comments, they are saying that these beads are easier to use than actual charms.
Oh, well, and you know, when you need a bead, you've got that little paper stash somewhere, and you can
Mhm.
always make a bead. They're pretty on Christmas presents.
Oh, yes.
So what I'm doing is I'm threading the bead, and I'm using a needle. There's no use trying to give yourself a headache poking this thread through. So then I'm holding the bead about where I want it, and then I'm just looping the thread through again and pulling it. So it locks the bead into place.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to go down a little bit further.
In the comments, they are saying that they will try to add also sparkle or glitters to the beads. Yeah,
Oh,
can
that
be.
would be good. You could, like, too, you could tie wire around it. That would be really pretty. Yes, you could certainly decorate them up.
And then Crafty wrote, just sit in front of TV and make tones.
Yes,
She has
yes.
already started.
And so now I'm just tying, because like I said, you don't like lonely ends. So I'm just tying the rest of this into knots.
And you can create the beads also from a fabric.
Yes, that's very pretty. You can use Tyvek too if you have that, and you can heat it. You need to be careful when you heat Tyvek, but
Mhm.
beads are really pretty done with other mediums. So I'm just going to put some more string on to give it a little more body.
Oh, Vicky Trencho wrote so many creative inspirations. Love it.
Thank you. Stagger your lengths.
They are still giving so many ideas in the comments. They are writing stone paper, rice paper glued to stone paper.
Oh,
Everyone has its own version.
yes, and I love stone paper. We've done a lot of projects with your stone paper.
Yeah, that's a great item. Yeah, really. So versatile.
Oh, I could, okay, sorry, I was just thinking I could maybe make a tunnel book using stone paper, but anyway, that's for another day. Okay. Okay, let's not get too carried away. Okay, so now I guess the only thing remaining is, I was going to put a couple sequins in here. And excuse me, I just use sticky dots to hold that down. You can use glue also, but
Oh, wow. Oh, in the comments, they are still asking for your weekly online class.
okay. We'll we'll get that figured out for sure. I think maybe now that weekly, yeah. Thank you.
You will end up like us that we have like lives twice per day. All these things.
I know this is okay. So we just stuck our little guy on there. Now I only have my back cover. And you know what? Since I, flubbed that part, I think I would be tempted, but I don't have my paper cutter here and stuff. But I would be tempted to put another strip on there just to cover that up. Or I would put another black strip over on this side to make them the same. But it's not earth shattering.
Oh, we can ask people in the comments to give us some suggestions.
Yeah.
What?
Or you know,
Hmm.
when you guys are doing yours, you're going to remember to mat it first. That's what you're going to do. You're going to remember to do it in the right order. There we go. There we go. Now there's some ephemera bits left over, so they would be good if you made a like a pop-up box or
Hmm.
something like that. Or if you're going to go ahead and do these cards, you can use the ephemera also on these. Um, the fish is kind of my favorite, so I'm just saving him for the moment or two because he he really would be nice on this. Can you
Oh,
turn that
yes.
down? He would be nice if you made one of these cards and then you could put them on there and then, you
Hmm.
know, with love or whatever you wanted to say. So I think I have this done. There's maybe a
Wow.
few more sequins or something that I could put on here. Or, you know, another thing would be pretty is to use some of the glaze to, just a minute, your crystal drops.
Hmm.
That would be pretty to put on here just to give a little more dimension. But
Wow, beautiful.
there you have your tunnel.
Wow, really beautiful. Really an
Thank you.
amazing. Also, people in the comments, they are loving it. Wow,
Thank
it's
you.
great.
Thank you. The compliment goes to you. Stamperia just creates really the most beautiful papers.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I think I can play another video and you can come you can go back to the front camera so we can have a look to your project for one more time and then we can say goodbye to our friends.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, I will play a video. Let me check what we have. Okay, here we are.
Do you know our Facebook group Stampers Worldwide? The place where you can post your creations, ask for advices, and make new friends. And above all, an incredible source of inspiration. Subscribe now and join the Stampers Worldwide group. It's for free. We're waiting for you.
And here we are.
Hi there.
Oh, we have.
Sorry.
Don't worry, no problem. It's normal. It's absolutely normal. But I think that I can remove the camera. Okay, yes. And you can unmute this one. Yes, this the no, no problem. Yes, this one is still muted. I don't. Yes, it's muted.
There you go. Okay.
Okay, here we are. Oh, great. Can you show us one more time the project, please?
Okay. So now she took my camera away, so now I don't know where I'm looking. Okay. Oh, here we go up here.
Yes.
Look.
Wow.
And people want, okay. It, this is probably why we don't do a lot of videos. Like, okay, so here we go. Here's your front page. These are pretty too, if you had wanted, if you've got, beautiful family pictures, things that you want to put in here, if they were printed in a sepia tone, you can put, your family or photos in there too. So it would still be,
I think that you're pointing to the brown
oh,
camera.
it's over here.
Okay. Now we can see it.
Oh my,
We were doing so
oh,
well.
we're going to have a nap now after this one. We were doing so good. Okay. Again, here we go, our front page. You could put photos in there. That's what I was saying, or trying to say.
Wow,
So here we
beautiful.
go. And because this is 80-pound paper, this the book it will stand up beautifully on its own.
Nice. Really, really nice. Thank you so much. It
Thank
was
you, dear.
great. Your first live, but still it was great.
Oh,
No
thank
problems at
you.
all.
Thank you so much. I think I've got a bit of a headache now, but we'll be good.
It's normal. Totally normal. Thank you to our audience. Thank you guys for having followed us till now. Thank you so much. You were so kind and warm with Nicole and her first live. Thank you so much again.
Thank you very
And
much, ladies. Thank you. Does my heart warm. Thank you.
that's the most important thing, that we had fun together. That was the most important thing for us.
Yeah.
We will see again with tomorrow morning's live at hour 11 a.m. I don't remember who will be live. My head is fuming right now, but
Yeah.
but you can
Thank you.
check the host and the hosts on our Facebook page. So thank you guys. See you tomorrow. Thank you again, Nicole. We can organize another live when you would like to have another one. We will be here.
Oh, that's wonderful. Definitely. Yes.
Thank you so much. And bye for now. See you next time.
Bye bye, dear. Thank you. Take care.